from Ben and Jerry's. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, good people? We are here. We are here. We are here. Come on in. Come on into the chat. Come on into the chat. Episode 300 live from Ben and Jerry's, West New York, New Jersey. It is absolutely going down. Peace and love. Thank you guys. We are live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Instagram Live, and TikTok Live. We got all the media outlets. It's going down. It's going down. Peace and love. I'm really excited, man. Shout out to Emily over here, manager, man, treating us real good over here. Make sure we got everything we need to have an incredible milestone episode 300. Really excited, guys. Really excited to be here to chat with you guys, man, and talk about Black history. Important to Black history, man. Black culture, Black legacy. We can talk about some Black people in media, right? We're gonna have some conversations today, man. Empowering, insightful, enlightening. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Peace and love. I see people coming into the chat. Peace and love. Thank you all for tuning in. This is a milestone episode 300, man. To do 300 episodes of anything is no easy feat at all. Come on in. Come on in. Please share this live with 5 to 10 of your friends who may be interested in tuning in. Right? If you are on the East Coast, it is 9 a.m., 9:01 a.m. If you're on the West Coast, it is 6 a.m. If you're anywhere else in another part of the world, it is afternoon or evening. So I hope that your day is blessed. I hope that you are feeling good. I hope that you are great. You are here. That means you're in the right place, right? As always, I'm your boy, your host, LaShawn Sugary Marston. This is episode 300 of SR Daily. SR Daily is where personality meets enlightenment. This is my baby, right? My dream as a child was to be a TV show host, a talk show host, and we are living that dream out, right? This is our first, set show with a major brand, right? Major corporation. Shout out to Ben and Jerry's for making this happen. Super excited to be building this relationship with the good people here. And we are going to get the show started. Come on in, come on in, come on in. The comments, it is lit. Let's go. Andre Mona Love, baby girl, what's going on? She is here on location, on set. We got a few other people tuned in, man. Thank you so much. TikTok is tuned in. Instagram is tuned in. Love you guys. I appreciate you guys. What's going on? It's Pat Mitchell. What's going on, sister? Peace out there. It's Pat Mitchell. What's going on? But listen, we are going to get the show started. Again, we got a pretty dope episode. We got some guests. As you know, every 100 episodes, we do a live studio audience with guest interviews. We got a couple of dope guests coming up today. Some Black men that are doing absolutely incredible work in their personal lives, for their families, in their communities, and for the world as a whole. So really excited to introduce them all to you, right? Some of them you may already know. Some of them may be new to some of you guys, but they are all dear to my heart. They are all powerful Black men who is shaping the narrative that Black men are great, Black men are powerful, Black men are faithful, Black men are intelligent, Black men raise their children, right? Black men can stick to it, Black men can get through it, right? Don't believe the narrative. Don't believe the BS out there that says that we ain't doing this and we ain't doing that and we don't do this and we don't do that. No, we are consistent. We are determined. We are creative. We are powerful. We are brilliant. We are intelligent. We are all of the things that is good. All of the things that are of God is in us, right? And so, again, I'm excited to be here with some brothers that are going to come up a little later. But to start, we are going to start our first segment of the day. Today's first segment is a quote of the day, and it is a quote that I came up with at like 2 this morning. Right? I was thinking of something I could say, something I could share that could inspire you guys, that could give you guys some energy, that could give you guys some level of power, right? This is a quote that literally just came to my mind at like 2 in the morning before I laid my behind down for sleep, right? And the quote says, doing anything is hard. It takes work. It takes discipline. It takes sacrifice. It takes consistency. And yeah, it's a long road. But if you never start, you'll never finish. If you want to be the best, if you want to be part of the class of people whose names are etched in history for eternity, you're going to have to endure failure and loss and setbacks and ridicule. And you're going to have to be alone sometimes. But if you keep the faith, if you keep your heart and your mind open, if you remain dedicated to the process, you can absolutely accomplish and achieve every single thing your heart desires, right? Again, this is a quote that I wrote, quote that I came up with, based on my life. What's going on, good brother? How you doing? Peace and love. Take a seat. Take a seat. What's going on? What's going on? Thanks for coming in. So this is a reflection of my life. right? You guys know me, I've been through so freaking much, still going through so much, but I'm extremely optimistic, right? People say, Sugar, how did you do some of the things that you've done? I say, owe it a lot to my faith, right? My unwavering, unshakable, like unyielding faith in myself and in the vision that the Creator placed in my heart, my mind, and my spirit, and to my creativity, right? To my creativity, and to like just the spirit that's in me, right? Like understanding from young that in order to be great, you're gonna have to go through tough times. In order to be legendary, you're gonna have to overcome those tough times, right? You're gonna have to be persistent. You're gonna have to be consistent. You're gonna have to do it when you don't feel like it, right? Or you're gonna have to do what's hard, right? If you do what's easy, you say what Les Brown said. If you do what's easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what's hard, your life will be easy, right? So a lot of us we like to run away from the challenges, right? Challenges come, we wish, oh, I wish this goes away, or I wish this wasn't happening, as opposed to leaning into it and saying that, what is this trying to teach me? All right, what is the lesson I can extract from this? Understanding that you are part of the divine. We're not separate from God. We're not separate from the universe, separate from source, spirit, energy. We are one with that. And so if we are one with source energy, if we are one with God, if we are one with the divine, that means that every single thing that happens, every single thing that transpires in our lives is not happening to us, it's happening for us. It's happening for our ascension. It's happening for our elevation. It's happening for our growth. It's happening ultimately to make our story that much deeper. I'm a storyteller. I've been telling stories. I've been loving stories since a youth. And one thing I learned as a storyteller is the more dramatic the story, right, the more powerful, right? When you have like we like movies. A lot of us we cry at certain movies, right? And the movies that we cry on, the movies that we remember most, that had the biggest impact on our lives, are the ones where it was a lot of drama in it. And somebody had to overcome the drama. They had to face the fear. They had to face the obstacles. They had to face the demons and overcome. So yeah, right. That's the quote of the day. We're gonna move right along to our second segment, our need to know news of the day. And today's news is, of course, since we're celebrating episode 300 of the show SRDaily, we're gonna talk about media, right? The importance of Black people in media. We've been in media since forever, right? Whether digital, print, radio, TV, we've been in media, and we're going to talk about some of the pioneers, right? Some of the Black Americans who've been in media throughout history. First, we're going to start in the early 20th century pioneers. We're going to go to one of the legends, Ida B. Wells, 1862 to 1931, a journalist, educated, and activist. Wells was one of the first Black investigative reporters. She used her newspaper, the Memphis Free Speech, to expose the horrors of lynching and racial injustice. Next up, one of my favorites. I watched this documentary maybe like a year or two ago. Oscar Micheaux, 1884 to 1951, the first major Black filmmaker. Micheaux wrote, directed, and produced over 40 films that challenged racist stereotypes and highlighted Black experiences. Next, we're going to go to mid-20th century trailblazers. I think this is, one of the world's favorites. I hear his name, I think, more than anybody else in media. Gordon Parks, 1912 to 2006, a photojournalist, filmmaker, and writer. Parks was the first Black photographer for Life magazine and directed Shaft in 1971, one of the first major Black-led Hollywood films. Next, we're going to talk about, shout out Dorothy Dandridge, 1922 to 1965, the first Black woman nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actress for her role in Carmen Jones in 1954. Next, Ethel Payne, 1911 to 1991. Known as the First Lady of the Black Press, Payne was a groundbreaking journalist who covered civil rights and international affairs. Next up, we're going to keep moving right along until we get to present day, civil rights era and the Black Power movement. John H. Johnson, 1918 to 2005, the founder of Ebony and Jet magazines, which became crucial platforms for showcasing Black success, culture, and activism. Next up, another favorite. This is, I think this is the first person that I started to watch as a young person, right? Or started to become aware of in media when I fell in love with media, and that's Gil Noble. Gil Noble had a show called Like It Is, right? 1932 to 2012. A journalist and host of Like It Is, a long-running public affairs show focused on Black issues, right? Like Gil Noble let me know that it was okay to focus on yourself. It was okay to create media and to have your whole show be about issues pertaining to you, right? We live in a world where so many people are afraid to focus solely on themselves, right? Specifically Black people. We are afraid to shine a light on us, positive, because we always feel like the world is going to judge us, which they do. The world does judge us. The world does ridicule us. They do, say a whole bunch of things about us, but it's not what they say about you, it's what you say about you. And if you know that your intentions are pure, if you know that you focusing on you and your people does not equate to hate of any other people, has nothing to do with that. It's just we need more spotlight, because what's in mainstream media, what other people are covering about us is not accurate, it's not factual, it's not truthful, it's not the whole story. So we're going to spend all of our time focusing on our whole story. Powerful. Shout out to Gil Noble. Next up, Diane Carroll, the first Black woman to star in a non-stereotypical TV role as Julia, 1968 to 1971, breaking ground for future Black actors. Late 20th century, more modern day, Oprah Winfrey, again, another person who inspired me. I think she was the first person who I saw and I said, I want to do that, right? Like I said, Gil Noble inspired me, like it's okay to focus on that. But I wasn't at that age, I wasn't really thinking that I want to have a talk show, I want to have a TV show. But watching Oprah, specifically watching how she used her media platform to address, or not so much to address social issues, but to highlight things people were going through. And she used her media platform to drive her philanthropic endeavors, right? And that's what I want to do, right? Use SRDaily, right? Use this show, use the Sugar Ray show, the show that I'm going to bring back, where it's focused solely on interviews. Use all of my media outlets to first, of course, share news, share updates, paint a positive picture of us in media. But the money that I generate through partnerships, through sponsorships, through advertisements, I want to use it to feed people, to house people, to clothe people, to ensure that our children have an adequate education, to ensure that our people have the opportunities they need to thrive, to flourish mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially, right? So Oprah, thank you for being an inspiration on that. Robert L. Johnson, born 1946, still living, the founder of BET, Black Entertainment Television, the first Black-owned cable network, which played a significant role in Black culture and media representation. And then, again, another one of my favorites, another one of my, I guess you could say, heroes, Spike Lee, right? A filmmaker who brought Black narratives to mainstream cinema with films like Do the Right Thing and Malcolm X. And now we come to present day, 21st century media giants. This sister here is extremely powerful. I love what she's been doing. Shonda Rhimes, born 1970, television producer, writer, and showrunner behind Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, and Bridgerton, creating complex Black lead characters. Next up, another legend, another giant, another freaking incredible figure, Black woman, Ava, I never know how to pronounce her name, DuVernay. I get it mixed up every single time. But shout out to the sister, a director and producer known for Selma, 13th, and When They See Us in 2019, highlighting racial injustice in America. We got two more for you guys, and we're gonna move on to the next segment. Issa Rae, I think she was the first person that I've seen, right? And this is more recent, that took what she did independently on social media, right? And blew up. Like she blew up. She did in film similar to what Soulja Boy did in music, right? Started on YouTube, started with something small, but just was consistent. Got some good eyes on it, had some consistent viewers. And then we know what she's doing now, right? So shout out to Issa Rae. And then the brother, very controversial. A lot of people got a lot of things to say about him. I got some things to say about him sometimes too. But I love his consistency. I love his openness, right? And that's Charlamagne the God. Shout out to the brother, a radio personality that calls The Breakfast Club, influencing hip-hop culture and Black media discourse. He got a book. Brother Frank Brown went to his book signing a couple of years ago. He was very interested in learning more about the work that Brother Brown was doing with the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition regarding political prisoners in America, right? And then got a few more, actually. I want to highlight Jack L. Cooper. He was the first African-American radio DJ. He was inducted into the National Radio Hall of Fame in 2012. And then Urban One Inc. Urban One Inc. is the largest African-American owned broadcasting company in the United States, right? In 2021, the National Association of Black-owned Broadcasters said that there are 221 Black-owned radio stations. About 28% of these generate between $1 to $10 million in annual revenue, while a little more than 2% generate more than $10 million. So media is a way that we can generate money as Black folks, right? Especially if we start partnering and coming together with each other, right? As individual broadcasters, as organizations, and then partnering with mainstream companies similar to Ben and Jerry's, right? Like we can build economic for our people. And as you know, what you do for Black folks in America, the whole world benefits, right? What you do for Black folks in America, the whole world benefits. So yeah, media has always been a critical tool in the Black community for empowerment, resistance, education, and cultural preservation. Let's move right along to our third segment of the day. Today's third segment, tip of the day, always. My tip today is to give people their flowers while they can still smell them. Like, give people their flowers. Let people know you appreciate them. Let people know that you're proud of them. Let people know that you see them. And however you can, right? Like the simplest way is to send a text, make a phone call, be like, hey, bro, hey, sis, see what you're doing. I'm proud of you. Hey, thanks for that thing that you said the other day. I read your post, right? It was on social media. But thanks for that thing that you're doing. You know, I seen you in the neighborhood, right? But give people their flowers. Like, don't wait until somebody dies for you to tell the whole world how great they was. Oh, that person was so great, man. They did this for me, and I remember this. Tell those stories now while people are alive. Get over the grudges. Get over the small nuances that, oh, I'm messing with that person. If you know in your heart that if that person died today, you will be brokenhearted, you will be sad, you will cry, and you will have the what if. I shoulda, coulda, woulda. If you know that that's you, if you know that you will have that experience if a loved one passes away, then get rid of your ego, right? Like, get rid of that pride. And like, it's okay to be the first to be like, you know what? I value this relationship, right? Even if whatever situation happened, right? If there was a disagreement, an argument, an altercation, something that happened, even if it's not your fault, right? If it's not your fault, if you value that relationship, be the first person to say, hey, listen, I would like to talk, right? And even if you don't got to necessarily apologize, but like, open the space for conversation, open the space for communication, right? Like, I'm telling you, I've seen it countless times, and I'm sure many of you have here in the audience, and many of you watching live from your home, from your work, whatever. You've seen. It may have been your experience where you're beefing with a sibling or a friend. You fall out with a friend over a couple of dollars or over some he say she say stuff, or it could be something valid too. It could be something real, right? And then a person dies, and then you're destroyed. Oh man, going too soon. I didn't get a chance to. Oh man, I wish I had another. But they gone. It doesn't matter no more, right? Like, so for your own sanity and for the sake of that relationship, right? Now, apologizing or opening space for communication, it doesn't mean you have to go back to being friends. It doesn't mean you have to forget what happened. It just means that I don't want to continue to live. I don't want to continue to exist with this space that's not comfortable between us, right? Again, especially if there's still love. Right? If there's still love, if you still have love for the person, you still want to see the person do well. Again, it doesn't mean you got to be friends, not at all, but you should not have a grudge. So give people their flowers, right? Let people know you love them. Let people know you care about them. Let people know you see them. Let people know you're proud of them. Let people know that, like, you know, yo, I'm happy to see you, right? Like, it's good to see you. You know what I mean? Thanks for showing up. Thanks for waking up. Thanks for being on your journey of life, right? And that's our tip of the day. And we are actually going to get into some interviews. And then at the end of the interviews, guys, right, we're doing a show a little different. We are switching it up. I am finally introducing the game show. I've been talking about a game show. I've been talking about adding this element to the show for a while now. And I think I finally got it, right? Thanks to, right, my love. Thanks to my children, right? Last week, we was doing some game show stuff. I was going through some concerts that I had. They said some of them were kind of trash, right? You know my children, you know they have real funny, strong personalities, right? They have no problem telling you when something is bad or when you're not doing good at a thing, right? But we're going to wait to the end of the show for the game show. So without any further ado, we are going to get into the interview portion of our show. Now, if you've been watching this show for 300 episodes so far, you know that regularly it's a 30-minute show, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where it's just me giving you these segments, giving you the word, call, the phrase of the day, giving you some need-to-know news of the day, giving you a tip of the day, and then previously, first 299 episodes, we had a build of the day where it was something that I would just speak about, something that I would throw out there that I want to get perspective on, get insight on, just have a conversation about. But every 100 episodes, every milestone episode like today, we do live audience like this on a location, and we have guest interviews. So no different today, right? We're just changing up from the build of the day to the game show, which is going to come at the end after all of the interviews. But today we got some very special people, man, going to come up and be interviewed. First up is a good brother of mine. Met this brother only a few years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, man. He's absolutely like a powerhouse, right? He is what you would call, he is what I would call, he is what he calls himself, a professional revolutionary. His life is dedicated to liberation. His work is all about freedom, justice, and liberation. He's a brother. He is the chair of the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition. He has a podcast that he does every Wednesday at 12 p.m. 1 o'clock. At 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The YouTube channel is NEPPC, Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition. Brother Frank Brown, come on up, my brother. Come on up, brother. Come on up. Put this mic on you, my brother. Come, let's have a conversation. See you, brother.
Good to see you. Congratulations on episode 300, brother.
Yo, thank you for being here, man. You want some toast? Get some toast, my brother.
Yes, brother.
Put some toast. It's a celebratory occasion, my brother.
Absolutely.
Thanks for taking the journey with me this morning from New York. Waking up bright and early.
It's my obligation, brother.
Waking up bright and early when you ain't have to. I appreciate you, good brother. There you go. We're going to do a toast, do a cheers. Shout out to Toast too, man. Sponsored the last couple of years on all of these super dope events. Really grateful for that relationship as well. Yo, Toast. Toast to consistency.
Absolutely.
Toast to Black people in media.
And accountability.
And accountability. You are a Black man in media, my brother. So let's get right into it, right?
Yes, let's do it.
You're the chair of the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition.
Yes, sir.
For those who don't know, in short, as direct as you can be, what is a political prisoner?
Political prisoner is somebody who had the courage to stand up to a system, an unjust system, and decided that they were going to do something about it. They decided that they was going to organize their people, and because they did that, the state, the oppressive system decided to strike back, and now you have them having these excessive terms.
So, why is it important, especially during Black History Month, for us to highlight our political prisoners? I know you guys got an event coming up this weekend,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Going upstate, right? See one of the sisters who's incarcerated. But why is it important, again, especially during Black History Month, to highlight political prisoners?
Well, when you look at the history of people of African descent, you look at the Nat Turners, you look at the Harriet Tubmans, and people like that, you always have people who had the courage to stand up and fight back. And because of that, they had to deal with those consequences. So you have people like that who were the examples of what we need to do if we want serious change, real change. And so when you have those people and we benefit off of their sacrifices and their struggles, then we have to ask ourselves, what happens when they become political prisoners? What happens when they be incarcerated? Do we forget about them, or do we do something to bring them home? Mm-hmm. So that's why it's very important for us not to forget them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. What can the average American citizen, the average human living anywhere on the planet, what are some things that they can do, that we can do to support your work and to address the issue and to support our political prisoners?
Well, you could donate, right? You could write a letter. I think that's very important. The first thing to do is to actually write a letter to a political prisoner. So once you write a letter to a political prisoner, it becomes real. It becomes a personal relationship. And then from there, you start to do other things. Like you could donate what you can. You could get information. Like I have this palm card right here. It's on Kamal Siddiqui. He's from South Jamaica, Queens. He's a political prisoner, a humanitarian, a freedom fighter, and he's been doing that all his life. So you get to learn about them, and then you find out what organizations are out there. You have Jericho, you have Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition, and you have other organizations that are fighting to free our political prisoners. So find out who they are and support them where you can. They have fundraisers, they have community programs, and they have letter writing campaigns.
Powerful, powerful. You've done one of the letter writing campaigns at our grief group,
Actually,
right? You brought that, and I appreciate you bringing that work to Queensbridge, right? Queensbridge, largest public housing development in the country. That's my home. That's my hood. I've heard about political prisoners. But as I told you so many times, I haven't met any one person that was dedicated to their plight until I met you. And I met you in my neighborhood, and you rose the consciousness of political prisoners and that injustice in our neighborhood, right? Because that wasn't something that we were talking about. Now, since we partnered and we've been locked in doing this work together, we've had banners about political prisoners in our neighborhood, right? You've contributed so much and not letting their names die. And you have actually been part responsible for helping some people come home.
Absolutely, yes.
So thank you for that. How does that feel? Last question. How does it feel when you are writing a political prisoner, when you're organizing for that political prisoner, and then they come home, right? Like, how does that feel for you as a Black man, knowing that your contribution is not just helping people be okay, but helping get them home? What does that mean to you?
Oh, it's outstanding, because sometimes we talk about why we're doing something, right? And we don't often see the results of our work. But when you see the results happen, you say, okay, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, right? We put the banner up, some Sunyata Kohli, he came home. Veronta Bowers, he came home. We actually brought Veronta Bowers to our community. We had an actual campaign where we wrote a letter to Veronta Bowers. And so to see that a whole action take place full circle, now you're like, okay, what we want to do can happen.
Absolutely. Right. Yo, thank you so much, my brother. Thank you for your work.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak on that. Yes.
Thank you for everything that you're doing, man. Not just to free political prisoners, not just to ensure that they have support when they're incarcerated, but everything you're doing as a Black man, as a father, as a leader, for yourself, for the community, and for the world. I appreciate you, my brother.
Appreciate you too, man.
Get that mic.
No doubt, man. Don't let political prisoners die in prison.
Don't let political prisoners die in prison. That's the good brother, Frank Brown. Check him out. He is on YouTube. He is on Facebook. He is on Instagram. Sefu Sankofa. That's SEFU SANKOFA. That's Instagram and Facebook. He's on YouTube. NEPPC, Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition. Thank you so much for your time, for your energy, for your work. Next up, good brother of mine. I think I've known him longer than anybody else in this space right now. About 15 years. It did not start off great, but we're going to get into that. Brother Harold Ari Jr., what's going on, my brother? What's going on, good brother? Peace and love, peace and love. We stand up, do it right, my brother. My bad. What's going on? Have a seat.
Chilling.
Peace and love, peace and love. Pour you some of this toast, my brother.
Please do, please.
Yes, sir, I got you. You want the
surprise?
So two of them, so they're different. I mean, pick one. So
surprise me. You know,
all right, got you. I'll give you my favorite one. So it's just 3 ingredients: sparkling white tea, cranberry and ginger, 0 alcohol. You guys know I don't drink alcohol anymore. Mike, you up, my brother? You got it? Yeah. Get into it.
I've been seeing you promoting this for a couple of years now.
Yeah, no, I've been locked in. I'm getting no chance, my brother. Oh man, where's your man?
Oh, I'm sorry. Listen, I told you when I got here, I'm used to being up this early. I'm not used to being out the house this early.
Yo,
cheers
to brotherhood,
absolutely.
Cheers to friendship, cheers to accountability, and cheers to understanding.
Absolutely. Understanding
is key.
We're gonna get into that.
So, I mean, again, this brother is an accomplished author, he's an accomplished coach, he's a motivational speaker. I've been watching him, I've been following him. I got to
correct you myself.
Yeah.
My middle initial is S.
S, I know I said R. Yeah. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Because it's HRJR, so right. Yeah, Harold Reed, my bad.
It's all good.
Harold S. Reed, right, Jr. But no, he is absolutely phenomenal, man. His words hit like they punch, right? But it's with love, right? Again, as someone who we didn't start out the best, but me always focused on my growth, right? I was able to hear him, right? His perspective, his like, okay, I got to take that, right? But thank you for all the work that you do. Thank you for all that you are.
I'll move right? a little bit. Cut me off.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yep. Yeah. Yes, sir. So let's get into it, brother. You are, you wear many hats and you wore many hats, right? Husband, father.
Still wear those.
Yeah. Leader, right? I know that, you're leading a family.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. People come to you for guidance.
Yeah, okay.
Right? People come to you for guidance. And you take no nonsense. That's leadership. You don't bend how you are to soothe people. You're like, no, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm going. And if you want to go, you can go this way, or you can go your own way. Right? So, because there's so much to talk about. I want to get into how we met. How do we connect? And you mentioned that on your Facebook page. We're gonna get into that. So talk about that. 15 years ago, 2010. I never forget the day, November 19th, 2010. Black Spectrum Theater, Queens, New York. First annual King Award, Man of Excellence.
Yes.
You were the moderator.
The host. Yes.
You was the host.
Yes.
You were the host. I was an award recipient.
Yes.
I got to get my award.
Yes.
It didn't happen.
Okay, so here's what he didn't know at the time. We were pressed for time. So the people who were in my ear behind the scenes would let me know if someone would be allowed to give a couple words. If I didn't get the signal, they didn't get to have a couple words. So I think 2 people before you got up to say a couple words. So when you were called to come get your award, you like, I like to say a couple words, and I just said, no,
straight like that.
He was like, you serious? Yeah, man, go sit down. Congratulations. Go sit down.
I was so mad.
And he was heated. He was heated. So like, doing the thing, whatever. And so when I stepped away from the stage, because somebody else was talking or performing or whatever, my wife pulled me to the side. It was like, I think we're going to have trouble when we leave here. What are you talking about? Like that guy you didn't let speak, he's sitting over there and he's mad. He looked like he wanted to do something. Ain't nothing going to happen, man. Ain't nothing gonna happen. So nothing happened that night. And I think like maybe a couple weeks later or whatever, we hooked up on Facebook and we just started chatting it out. And I had explained to you, we were pressed for time. It wasn't nothing personal, but I had to keep things moving. And here's the thing that you didn't know. I had never done anything like that before.
I didn't know that.
I
didn't know that.
It's International Men's Day.
International Men's Day.
And shout out to our sister Kathleen.
Yep, Kathleen Williams. Who he had faith enough in me, in my presentation ability to do that. Because again, I had never done that before. Yeah. So
public speaker, yes, I'm good with that, but I'd never hosted anything before. I just got upset what I had to say and got out. So being in that position, and people gonna laugh at me, people gonna say whatever they want to say, but this is where my head was in 2010. Excuse me, when this particular person was still relatively popular. In my mind, I channeled my inner Steve Harvey. I just kept Steve Harvey on the Apollo, Steve Harvey on whatever he hosted or whatever. So that was kind of how I carried myself to get through that. And it was, there were I can't remember any mistakes. As a matter of fact, the only hiccup, if anything, was you.
That, yeah.
But like I said, it's 15 years, and when we talk about it, as you can see, we're laughing about it now, and that's how we as men should be. Even if we don't start off on the right foot, we got another foot.
100%.
We got a left foot, so we take one step, and then we take another step, and then we walk in again.
100%. And again, that was a testament to understanding, right? Because we communicated.
Because you explained to me that you had lost somebody.
Yeah. So the week before, one of my best friends that got killed, a merchant marine. He was home for vacation for 2 days. Went to the club with his brother. He got shot and killed. Right. So I was brokenhearted. And I seen him the night. He told me to come to the club. I was like, I gotta go home. I have to do a workshop the next morning. And so that day, it was the funeral. I chose not to go to the funeral because I said, all right, if I go get this award, the award could be in his honor. And so when I spoke to Kathleen, she said I can have a few moments to speak. And I said, I just want to honor my friend. I said, I don't want to say thank you to you. And I just want to acknowledge my friend. I don't want to take too much time. Right? And so when you said no, I was like, wait, she said.
Kathleen ain't giving the signal.
No, and I got that. Right? And, obviously, I didn't stay up there harassing you.
Right.
But I was upset because, again, I chose to come here instead of my friend's funeral.
My wife was afraid you was going to be Will Smith before Will Smith.
I told my lady, his wife was sitting right there. I had no idea. No idea. But, all right, now, fast forward, 15 years later, here we are. Since then, that was your first time hosting something like that. You've done so much since then. You've authored 4 or 5 books? 5 books.
5 now.
5 now, right? 5 books. New book just dropped.
Yes, please.
Right? Be savage, not average. Right? You can check that out. Right? He'll give you the information on that. So talk about that. Talk about How did you become an author of 5 books? And what does it take?
Wow. How much time we got? No, seriously.
You got 10 minutes.
Okay. How did I write 5 books? I put my experiences on paper. I put the lessons that I've learned and the experiences that came from those lessons. Some of them were, hey, this is great. Some of them were, but I figured, first of all, my first book was written when I was still relatively new as a cop.
Mhm.
I'm a retired police officer.
Yep, I remember.
And my thinking was at that time, any given day I kiss my wife and kid goodbye is a day that I'm kissing my wife and kid goodbye. Or could be a day that I'm kissing my wife and kid goodbye. And I didn't want my son, at that time I only had the one, now I have 2. I didn't want my son growing up with people saying, your father would have said this, your father would have wanted you, your father would have, you know. And so I figured, at least with that first book, it started out as a letter to my son. And then it was the funny thing, I had written about 80 pages and put them in a nice little 3-ring binder. And I went to my wife and I said, babe, I finished the book. And I showed her my little binder. Yes, that's like what the you like stacking it. But then I reflected and I was like, you know, nothing that I read to that point was 80 pages of regular paper. So I went back to the lab, dug deeper, went into my notes, went into blogs that I had written, incorporated that. And next thing you know, I had a 250-something page manuscript.
Powerful.
And that's what I went to work with.
Powerful. Powerful. 5 books later, how have you evolved? How has your writing evolved?
This is going to sound funny, not necessarily perhaps in a good way. I think my writing has stayed the same in the sense that I'm talking about life topics that most people won't talk about. Like this book here, 11 Steps to Improve Accountability. This book right here, this was a hard book to write because I originally started writing this book 3 years ago. But my father had passed and I needed time to process that because there's nobody on the face of this planet that's closer to me than my father, and I didn't have him anymore, and I had to come to terms with that. So within this book, what I had originally planned to write was not what this is, because I realized when I was writing with anger. My title is Be Savage, Not Average. So I took that as license to just crap on paper. Whatever was pissing me off, that's what I wanted to put on paper. But that was good for me to put in my journal. That wasn't necessarily good for people who were looking for ways to improve themselves. So I put the pen down, put the paper down, put that file in the laptop, put that away, and just experienced dealing with not having my father. And what I realized was that my father didn't leave me; he became more.
Yes, sir.
You know, I began seeing pictures of myself as a grown man, and it's like whenever somebody put a camera in front of me, my father said, "Go over there somewhere." Because I look just like people who are watching who know me. Now I got the grades. I look just like pictures. I look just like my father. So I've also learned the power of letting go.
Talk about it, brother.
You know, things that would get me heated, that would get me like amped up and angry or whatever. It's not that important.
Powerful. Yes,
not that important.
Not that important. That inspired something. I'm gonna talk about you later. I want to do something together, a little project together.
Okay.
Right? Because we both lost our dad at different times, different points in our life. We both lost our dad. And so many other black men have lost their father at times they need them.
Absolutely.
Right? So I would like to talk about something. But going right along now, you as a father, as a husband, how important is your legacy? And what legacy are you building for your family? As a black man, specifically.
I want for my sons, well, I have 2 sons. One's 22, one's 15.
22 already.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. We're 23 this year.
Insane.
But my 22-year-old is autistic. He was diagnosed at 2.5. So my wife and I have the blessing of basically having a child for life, you know, which on the one hand, I could look at all the things that he will not be able to do, he will not be able to experience, but who am I going to raise my fist at? God, that was God's plan. You know, maybe God wanted to spare my firstborn of all of the hate, the evil, and the bitterness in this world, and just have him surrounded by love 24/7. And my youngest son, he's 15, so he's goofy, as most 15-year-olds are, as I was, as you were, you know, at 15 years old. But the legacy I want to leave behind for them is one in which they know their father was a man of integrity. They know how to carry. Well, my oldest son, you know, he's always going to be with one of us, so he's going to be taken care of. And it might have been unfair to my younger son, but I've been telling him ever since he was 5 years old, you're going to have to take care of your big brother one day. So we've had him helping take care of him, you know. And so I want to leave behind a legacy of service, a legacy of honor, and a legacy of integrity. I want to be because I tell my son, because I don't have my father, and I was older having them than my father was having me. So one of my biggest fears is I'm not going to have as much time with them as my dad had with me. So my main goal is to be the example of what a man is.
Powerful, brother. And before we wrap up, get to our next guest, where can folks get your book? How can folks support you? You are not only an author, you are a coach.
Yes.
You are a speaker.
Yes.
You wear multiple hats in that space of personal development, self-improvement. How can people book you? How can you find out about your services? How can you get your books?
Everyone can go to my website, www.coachhrjr.com. The homepage has a link where you can just go straight to order the book. Everything is on the site. You can pay through the site. It's all good. Technology is a wonderful thing. As far as I've been a certified professional life coach since 2009. I've helped a lot of people, and basically, I'll make this real quick. The difference between, say, a life coach and licensed therapy is, when I say licensed therapy or licensed counseling, I'm talking about psychologists, psychiatrists, clinical therapists, what have you. What they tend to, and I say this because I myself have experienced therapy once when I was very young, and the second time when I endeavored to leave and retire early from law enforcement. What the licensed counselors tend to do is they take you all the way back into your past to figure out what happened way back when to get you where you are now. As a life coach, I don't spend so much time in your past. I want to meet you where you are now. And we'll reference the past, but I want to meet you where we are now so that we can map the best trajectory for you to move forward. It's like when you're driving in a car, there's a reason why your windshield is larger than your rear view mirror. So you can focus on going forward, but every so often look back, make sure the boogeyman ain't catching up. I think I said boogeyman as opposed to, you know.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yo, my brother, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Congratulations on your 300 show.
Yo, thank you for being here. This is magical, man. We're here in New Jersey, your state.
You gotta know this is love, man. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm walking out the house, yo, driving through traffic in 30-something degree weather.
Yo, appreciate you, man. It's our brother Howard Reed Jr. once again. Check out his website, CoachHRJR.com. Check out his books, book of services, man. He's the real deal. Check him out.
Shout out for me. Of course. Shout out to my wife, Tabria.
Shout out to your wife.
Shout out to the brothers of Groove Fi Groove Social Fellowship Incorporated. Shout out to the sisters of Swing Fi Swing Social Fellowship Incorporated. To all my friends and fam who supported me and watched now or will watch the replay. I love you and thank you for supporting.
Peace and love.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Oh, shout out to my coach, my mentor, Dr. Del Toro McNeil.
Shout out to brother.
And my inner circle, my cohort, because they really helped me get through that hard time as well. So thank you for having me, brother.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Yes, sir.
I'm
Sit
gonna
around,
drink,
hang out.
Drink my toast.
Yes, sir. Drink your toast. We got some cake afterwards.
You good, brother.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Deep gratitude. Whoo, baby, that was powerful. That was powerful. Shout out to the brother. Next up, we got two more guests, man. Next up is a brother. He is an actor. He is absolutely phenomenal, man. Powerful black man here in Jersey doing his thing. Every time I see his page, it's his smile that just makes you like, yo, I want to talk to that brother. That brother, he got something with him, man. Brother Tomik, what's going on? Microphone up. You gave it to him. Awesome. What's going on, good brother? Peace and love. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being out here so early. Ben and Jerry's. Thank you so much. Yo, listen, we're gonna get into it.
This is different. Congratulations on 300. You know what I'm talking about?
Thank you so much.
So proud of you, man. I've been watching you for a while now.
Yeah. We've been what? 10 years?
Something like that.
Right?
Yeah,
I think like we connected via. Who did we connect via? Was it? I forgot the sister's name. They got the radio show. They had the radio show. Two black sisters. The Air It Out show.
Yeah.
But talk about it, man. You are doing great things.
Yeah, man.
Right? I see your face pop up in some places.
Yeah, man.
I see your name pop up in some places. You're doing some theater work. You're doing some film work.
Yeah, man. You know, more film and TV now. You know what I mean?
More on a TV show recently.
I just shot a couple of things I can't really talk about.
Can't talk about it.
But I've been blessed, man. We've been working. I got a couple of films out there right now that are in the film circuit. I'm in the indie film and festival circuit. Other than that, man, we keep it moving, man. You know, we stay inspired and try to inspire others. That's what I've primarily tried to be about. You know what I mean?
So let's get into it, right? You are a black man. You are an actor. You are in film. You are in TV.
Yes, sir.
Who inspired you? Like, who were some of your inspirations growing up? And how did you get on this path of film, TV, and entertainment?
Wow, it's funny. So I graduated from North Carolina A&T, so that's why I started doing theater.
Aggie Pride
all day, every day. Aggie Pride, you know what I'm talking about? So let's start out with this. So I was born and raised in Durham, North Carolina.
Okay. I hear the southern accent.
Yeah, man, it pops out from time to time. But, so I attended North Carolina A&T, and that's where I began studying theater. But I began actually in journalism.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
So I did radio on campus at WNAA 90.1 FM, broadcast to like 3 million people.
Nice.
Funny story, I actually had a radio show with Terrence Day.
Okay.
Shout out to him for all his success.
Nice.
I was actually like in classes with him, taking journalism. But then during my journalism coursework, I ended up in in speech class with a bunch of theater majors. And I was like, how the hell do y'all do that? Like, I was mesmerized. Yeah. So the next semester, I changed my major next semester, I took an acting class for non-majors. Okay. Semester after that, I changed my major to theater because I really wanted to study the craft. Nice. And the rest is history.
Nice. What has been, right, you've been on the journey for a long time, what has been the biggest challenge for you, right, as a black man, right? We hear it all the time. The black actors, actresses have to work 10, 20 times as hard to even get a percentage of what the white counterparts get, right, in contracts and things like that. Mm-hmm. What has been the biggest challenge for you in this industry?
Biggest challenge for me, I'm going to be honest, the rejection, you know what I mean? You just got to wake up every day and keep fighting it because you will be rejected. And I think I said this in another interview. Doesn't matter how talented, how good you are, what your intentions are, any of that. Somebody's going to tell you no. Facts. Somebody's going to tell you no. I mean, somebody told Meryl Streep no. Somebody told Denzel no. Yeah. Somebody told Samuel L. Jackson no. They asked me a question. Who was one of my biggest inspirations? Samuel L. Jackson, who we just saw the other day doing his thing. Because his story, he didn't really blow up until he was in his mid-40s. Yeah. I'm in my mid-40s now. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm looking at the same energy, and I actually had the opportunity to meet him and chop it up with him a couple of years ago at a Tony Awards after party. He was very generous, very kind, gave me all kinds of encouragement. And shout out to Wayne Brady too. Okay, he put the battery in my back. Yeah. I had a conversation with him, and he really encouraged me, man. Because I looked straight in his eyes and I was like, "You're gonna see me."
Nice.
He was like, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like it. Like, he loved my energy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everybody was great, man. So it's been a journey. I've been doing this for my entire adult life.
I would say,
You
long
know what I
time.
mean? And,
Long time.
you know, and here I'm with you, celebrating with you.
Yes, sir.
Episode,
Yes,
you know what
sir.
I'm saying? And I really respect the fact that you did a hunger strike and all that. Like, I've been following you.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Keep doing it, you know what I'm saying? And to honor you, actually, I wore this T-shirt that was designed by my man, Kevin Hayes.
Okay.
And,
Illmatic.
yeah, you're from
Nice.
Queensbridge, you know what I mean?
Yes,
So I
sir.
wore the shirt, I was like, you know what I mean? I know my man's from Queensbridge.
Nice.
I just want to honor you a little bit by honoring North Carolina A&T. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So,
Powerful.
yeah.
So before we wrap this up, right?
Mhm.
What's next for you? Like, what do you have coming up? How can people support you? And what, I guess, words of encouragement or empowerment do you have for other young black men and black women who want to get into this industry of film and TV?
Okay, so that was, what's the first question? That's like a three-part question. It's like a three-part question.
I don't even remember the first part.
What do I have coming next?
What do you have coming up?
All right. I just shot a couple of things I really can't talk about, but what they can see me in, I'm in a film called Shadows on Prime Video, starring my man Saigon.
That's Amazon Prime?
On Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime Video.
Yeah, so
what's it called?
watch that. It's called Shadows.
Shadows on Amazon Prime.
On Amazon Prime. Yeah, it is it's like an urban horror film.
Okay.
And it's very good. And I'm
I
so
gotta
proud.
check it out.
Yeah, so that's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
I'm in another film called Weekend at the Agnamemnons with this legendary actor named Austin Pendleton.
Okay.
So that's doing festivals right now.
Nice.
And Sins of the Father, which is directed, written by Attica J. Torrance, who's an Emmy-nominated producer-director. So that's doing festivals right now. So that's where they can see me right now. And if you want to check out Power, because I did 3 seasons on that show.
Okay.
And Residuals Are Real.
Residuals Are Real.
Residuals Are Real.
Three seasons. 3 seasons?
3 seasons on
3
Power.
seasons on Power. Residuals Are Real.
Residuals Are Real. So yeah, so you can see me on Power as well if you are a Power fanatic in the Power universe.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, I got other stuff out.
And how can people connect with you?
Instagram.
Instagram?
Yeah, official Tamike OG. So that's official TOMEOG. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's how you can connect with me.
Awesome.
Yeah, man, it's good to come here and chop it up,
Yes,
man.
sir.
I love
Thank
the
you
energy, man.
Thank you so much for being here,
Yeah,
my
man,
brother.
I love
Thank
you,
you
man.
so much.
Appreciate
Yes, sir. Hang around with us some cake. We're gonna celebrate.
Love.
Celebrate.
You know what I'm
Thank you so much. Yo, listen, check the brother out, man. Check him out on Amazon Prime, Shadows. He's doing some film festivals right now. You can hit him up on Instagram, official Tamike OG. Tamike OG. TOMIKEOG.
Yes,
Hit him
sir.
up on IG. Check him out. I look forward to doing some work with you, my brother.
Yeah, man.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you. Yes, sir. And we got one more guest coming up. It's been an incredible show, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being in the audience. We got one more guest coming up. This guy is my brother. We met years ago doing the work around fatherhood, doing the work around empowering our young brothers in the neighborhood from Queens to Brooklyn and all throughout New York City and New Jersey and even beyond. This brother is an accomplished, he's a talented hip-hop artist. He's a hip-hop yoga artist. He is an actor. He is a father. He is a husband. He is a leader. He is a friend. He is a brother. Brother Priceless, come on up, my good brother. What's going on? What's going on, brother man? Peace and love. What's happening? Thanks for coming out, my brother. Appreciate you. Get you a cup.
Thank you.
Pour you some toast.
Awesome.
Pour you some of this good toast and mic you up, my brother. Got it? Yeah, man. Thank you so much for being here, my brother.
Thank you for having me, man.
Listen, this guy, if you don't know this guy, man, this is one of the most talented individuals I know. He makes positive music, right?
I should have it on that side.
Should have it up there. I mean, don't have it on the inside, but probably on the post here. Yeah. Super talented brother, super positive brother, man. Again, he makes incredible, powerful music. He's not degrading women. He's not talking about.
Nah, never that.
He's not talking about hurting the community, right? He's an actor. He's done some dope films. Been in some of my films.
Yes, sir.
Right? Been in
Yes,
some of my
sir.
skits
Yes,
for young
sir.
people.
Had the pleasure.
Right?
Yes.
Cheers.
Let's toast it up, man.
Cheers to brotherhood. Cheers to talent. Cheers to family.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
It was great to a good today and a better tomorrow.
Yes, sir. So let's get right into it, brother. Right? Hip hop artist, yoga.
Let's talk about it.
How did you blend those two things, right? Because a lot of times, I mean, we see it, I think, in many fields, right? People, they do one thing and they do another thing, and it's normally separate, right? The fitness is normally separate from the art, right? The parenthood is normally separate from the media, right? But you found a way to blend it all, even down to your fatherhood in media. You were doing videos and stuff with your daughter, right? You're creating content with your daughter. But before we go there, I want to talk about the hip hop and the yoga. You're a hip hop yoga artist. What does that mean, and how did you find that lane?
I wish that I could give you a fascinating story or you know, one of those, you know, man, you know, one of those aha moments, you know what I'm saying? But I did have an aha moment, but it wasn't such a technical story. It was just me growth in life, period. You know, as a person, as you know, finding myself and growing, you know, getting to, you know, how would you say, finding ways to challenge myself and also grow through those challenges. You know what I'm saying? That's where this came from. You know, it was basically me, you know, getting ready for a performance one day and didn't have, you know, trying to be creative at one thing and saying, how can I captivate the crowd? You know, how can I give these children that I was going to, this audience that I was going to perform for, how can I give them a outstanding performance and take it to the next level? And that was a point in time where I dug deep into myself, you know, and got into one of my hip hop yoga headstands, you know what I mean? In my house, you know, regular meditation morning, and found myself just talking to myself and like literally talking to myself while I was upside down. And I said, man, if I can talk to myself upside down, like why can't I rap like this, you know? And there was a thought, you know what I'm saying? And there was the creation, the hip hop yoga, you know what I'm saying? And I said, I went to the actual performance and, you know, that came out, manifestation, the power of manifestation. Man. That was it, man. And that was the birth of hip hop yoga.
Hip hop yoga. The brother said he rapped on his head.
Yes, sir.
He got video out there. If you don't believe
sir.
him, I've seen it with my own eyes twice. More than twice, actually. I've seen it about 3 or 4 times.
It's a thing.
He came and did it in Queensbridge a few times. Did you do it on the cop car that time?
Absolutely.
He rapped on top. So we used to do from the ground up in Queensbridge. Every Saturday we'd be outside, open mic, poetry, you know, people coming together to talk. And the cops would always harass us. They would be outside every single Saturday. Mind you, we giving out free food. Like, it's positive. You know, we got children outside Saturday night. We turned a block that I got in trouble on, right, and made it a positive space. And the cops would harass us, turn the lights down, keep the sirens flashing. And one day, they left the car there. And he said, let's go over there and do a handstand on the cop car.
Well, you see, the thing about it, I want to share with the people that it wasn't, it's always in respect. You know
100%.
Like,
100%. It wasn't
you know,
disrespectful. We didn't violate.
when we say, you know, doing on top of a cop car, everything is always about the message, you know what I'm saying? And I felt that I said that and I showed that particular day in front of all those children, you know, the kids that was there with us that day, that I could have went on top of the cop car and I could have, you know, violated it, you know, did something like that. But why do that when we can express ourselves, you know, in a better way, in a positive manner? You know, we can do it just and have the same effect in a sense without being disrespectful.
100%.
And I did it right next to the cop car, not on top of the cop car, but next to the cop car. So the message was still the same. You know, we're doing something here positive. You know, we're not out here to disrespect. You know what I'm saying? So we wanted to create some sort of a conduit. You know what I'm saying? That where the cops, the police, and the neighborhood could come together. You feel what I'm saying? So with that being said, that, you know, that was the result.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Powerful. Fast forward. You are a father. You are. You also work with young people, right, regularly. How important is it as a black man, right, the black man who's a father, to also not just pour into your daughter, but to pour into other children throughout your neighborhood, throughout the city, and throughout the world?
Well, just to make it clear, I'm an ABA therapist, so I work with children with autism, and not just children with autism, but individuals with autism and on the spectrum. So, you know, in that line of work is a level of care that you have to have, you know what I'm saying, and transparency that you have to have with a person, with individuals, just in order to one of your guests said it before, just a little while ago. You said you have to be in their world in order to help them out. You know what I'm saying? Like, or get some sort of perspective of where they're at that time. You have to meet them where they're at. You know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of times that's the mindset that you have to have when you're going into that line of work. It's a beauty that I'm able to, how would you say, make the line of work and my actual life, cohabitate with each other. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing when you can do that, because that shows true transparency. You know what I mean? You don't have to switch it up. You don't have to fake it up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in my house, I'm one way, and at the job, I'm the same exact way. You know what I'm saying? I bring what I bring here to here because I know that my true self is what's needed.
Absolutely.
So it's a beautiful thing.
Self,
man. Yeah.
True self. Thank you, brother. So before we wrap this thing up, right, close the show out, we'll get to this a few minutes of a game show. What's coming up for you? What are you excited about in the near future? Next few days, next few weeks, next few months? What do you have coming up, and what are you excited about?
I'm excited about a lot, man. I have a lot going on. I was just appointed as editor-in-chief of What's Open NYC. That's a magazine, a New York City-based magazine. Newspaper that is actually talks about everything that's open, everything that's trending within New York City. And I'm really excited about that, man. We have our influencers that are out there, and we're going to these establishments just like what we have right now, and being able to do reviews and other things that we have going. It's a big thing for me because it's my first time with being in charge of something so big. You know what I mean? So I'm happy, and I'm excited to see what is to become of myself. You know what I'm saying? When put in a position like that. You know what I mean? So it's a great thing. The book that we have out right now, the children's book that we have out right now. Yes, Carter's Creations, Carter and the Seven Continents. You can find that on Amazon too, just as well, or you can check out the website, carterscreations.org.
And that's with a K.
Yes, Carter with a K.
Carter and Creations
with a K.
Yep.
So
and that's one of the young men that you work with.
Yes, that's one of the young individuals that I work with too, just as well. We have the YouTube show, so we turned the YouTube show into an actual children's show.
Come on, how incredible is that?
Yeah.
How incredible is that? Are you guys hearing that? The brother is working with people, right? Specifically, this one young person, this one young brother, doing a children's show. I've been watching the show for a minute. You actually created a new character in that show.
Yes,
you got your fro. That's super dope. I love that.
Yeah,
right?
P-Funk. Check him out. Man.
I love that you're doing that. But then he said he turned the show into a book. Turned the show into a book, showing this young person, showing this young brother that you could do anything.
And I'm not just going to take full credit for that, because the mom is the actual author of this book. You know what I'm saying?
So it's a
full collaboration of that. So that just shows that it's a full collaborative effort.
And that goes back to the old saying in our community, it takes a village.
Yes.
It takes a village, man. So thank you, brother, for being part of this village. Thank you for allowing me into your village,
Thank you
brother.
for having me, man,
of course,
and allowing me on your platform.
I appreciate you.
And just, giving me the opportunity to showcase myself to the world.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate that.
Listen, it's episode 300.
Yes,
right?
It's a great thing, man.
When the show is over, right, before we leave, I'm gonna ask you to do something. We got the camera. I'm gonna ask you to do it in Ben and Jerry's. You gotta do the handstand rapping in Ben and Jerry's. That's gonna be epic. Yo, I love you, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You'll give it up for Priceless. Where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram, any social media website that's out there right now. The name is PRYCLSS. Check it out everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.
Yo,
listen, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We are behind time, right? I am still figuring out how to do this thing and stay on time, especially with interviewers. I like to talk. Some of my guests like to talk, right? Talk TV, talk radio. That's what we do. But I want to do a few minutes of this game show. You guys want to participate? Quick game show, right? So quick game show. I've been thinking about game shows for a while now. Went through some stuff with my children a few weeks ago, went through some stuff with my lady yesterday. And I think I settled on something that's pretty simple, pretty easy, pretty fun. I don't know the name of it yet, right? It doesn't have a name, right? No, it does have a name. Know Your Stuff. Know Your Stuff game show, right? Very simple. There are 4 categories, right? We're gonna say a category, and we go around. Each person has to say something in that category, right? You get 30 seconds to contribute. If you don't contribute in 30 seconds, you out, right? And you can't repeat something that the person before you said or another person said. For example, if we say name ice cream flavors, and I say vanilla, you say strawberry, you say Neapolitan, you can't say vanilla. You out if you repeat. Make sense? Simple. So we're gonna get into it. Category. We're gonna start with food and beverages. I'm gonna start chicken. We're gonna go that way.
Shrimp. Fish. Pizza.
Steak.
Mac and cheese.
Ziti. Oh, you, Emily.
Me?
Yes. Coffee. Asparagus.
Salad. Carrots. Broccoli.
Celery.
Chickpeas.
Muffins.
Rice.
Right.
Yeah.
Spinach. Broccoli.
Ah, you out. He said broccoli. We're gonna move along to the next. We're gonna go through two segments before we wrap this up and get out of here. Get off this live. Next category: board games and video games.
Monopoly.
Madden.
Checkers. Bingo.
Mortal Kombat.
Scrabble. Call of Duty.
Mortal Kombat. Because I'm human. All right. Next category, we're gonna go is Black History Month. Black activists, athletes, and/or entertainers.
My answer. Priceless. Paul Robeson.
No.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Oh, Tupac. Malcolm X.
Yeah, you're out. He said Malcolm. Next up, we're gonna go to cities.
New Jersey.
She's out.
Oh.
Oh, New Jersey, not a city.
New Jersey is a city. You have to say Jersey. Oh, damn.
What y'all think? She's out or she's in? She said she's out. She's out. She said she's out. She said she's out. All right, we're gonna come back to food and beverages. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 left.
Food and beverages? Water. Coconut water.
Oh shit! And food. Oh, that's true. Yo, we got 3 left. Yep, we're going back to board games and video games. Oh, yeah.
Who said that?
No.
We won the last game.
No, that was last game. No, it's new round. Every round, the round.
You can repeat stuff in the new round?
Yeah.
Then he should still be in.
What did he say? No,
Who said broccoli after somebody?
he did. No. It was the same round. It was the same. Nobody had got out yet. He tried. Yo, it's about to cut off in 1 minute. Yo, that's the game show, man. Who's the winner? It's 2 left, right? It's 1 and 2. Because he was out. All right. Black. All right, we're going with black activists, athletes, and entertainers. 1 and 2.
Tiger Woods.
Colin Kaepernick.
Serena Williams.
Oh.
And Mike Jordan.
Kobe Bryant.
Gary Payton.
Julius Erving.
You might got me. Russell.
Magic Johnson.
Larry Bird.
Nope, and he's not black. He's not black. Yo, it's a rat. Yo, he's the champ. He's the champ. He's the champ. Yo, guys, it's a wrap. Thank you so much for tuning in. SR Daily, episode 300, live from Ben and Jerry's. Shout out to Ben and Jerry's. Shout out to my guests, Harold Reed, Frank Brown, Talik, Priceless. It's going down. It's a wrap, guys. I love you guys. Holla at you guys soon. Peace out. It's Larry Bird.